YouTube, what's going on? Your boy's back again. Just leaving the gym now on the way to go spend too much money on a coffee because that's what I do. But at the gym was having a conversation with this guy, and we were kind of talking about our futures and things that we were planning on doing. And I brought up something, and I said, yeah, my goal is to leave the job I'm doing right now and go to do something new, maybe a career change where maybe you start off lower, maybe it's one step backwards, but there's more opportunity in the long run in the future. And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, but you have a master's. Like, you have a master's. Why would you do that? And why would you go from having a master's in social worker to go try to do sales? And I was trying to explain to him, and I'm like explaining just, the ceiling's higher, you can make more money. There's more opportunity based on my master's. It feels like I'm topping out unless I want to go work at a hospital or something crazy like that where I lose my freedom. And he just really didn't get it. Then I explained to him, I was like, man, I make good money, but I'm asset rich and cash poor right now. And then he kept going on and on about like, yeah, but you have the assets, and da 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 da. And I was like, yeah, but here's what I want to do. So what I'm doing right now doesn't really help me and get me into that direction. He just didn't really get it. And the thing that I thought is like, it's very hard to explain to people the path that you're on if they don't understand how big your goals are. And a lot of people don't have big goals. They have, get to this thing. They have the societal norms that have been placed on them. And so when you try to say, I'm trying to do these things, I would like to get a better job, to make more money, to not have more money, but to either be able to invest more in assets or invest more into business and do something different. There's a means to an end. And I think a lot of people go to work every day and it's just an end. They live to work versus just working to live. And trying to change somebody's perspective and understanding of how all that works is very, very hard in the moment, right? It takes a lot of deep work and people knowing what they want to do and where they want to go. So there was a certain point in the conversation where I was like, yeah, you're right, I'll just stick with it. But it's just because I can't explain that to people. And I think that's something that a lot of us need to do is realize, and this was kind of the last video I kind of made, is realizing what are you striving for and why are you striving for it? Did you just go to school and get a master's because your parents told you to get a master's? Are you doing this thing because you think that's what you're supposed to do? Or does it align with your goals? And Jim Rohn talks about this a lot. Everybody's copied Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor. It's writing down your goals. And I've done it before. I should do it again. I haven't done it in a while. I should realign my goals to where I am right now in my present. And how I now understand my future, because every time something changes in your life, you have a different perspective of where you're going. And yes, maybe your main goal will stay the same. Like, I can't even make an example. Like, I want a family and 4 kids. Sure, but how you're getting there could change based on stuff you learn on a day-to-day basis. So I need to redo that, but I feel like most people don't do it at all. Most people don't write their goals down. Most people don't know what they want, and they're going through life kind of aimlessly without a thought even of, in a perfect world, here's what I'd want. And talking to this guy, there was so many limiting beliefs he had on himself that he was trying to put on me. He was like, yeah, but if you leave your job and you make more money, you're gonna have to spend more time. Like, you're gonna have to work more. I was like, that's not I was like, that's what you think. That's your limiting. That's the belief that you have. And he said, yeah, but I know a bunch of people who are in sales and who, this guy's a VP and he'll get a call randomly whenever and he's always on call and da 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 da. And I was like, sure, that's one person, one job that makes whatever you think is a lot of money. But there's so many people in the world who work hours a week, maybe an hour a day, maybe 30 minutes a day. They check their phone, they make sure everything's running the way it's supposed to, and then they're good, and they make way more money. And it's like, okay, would I be willing to work an extra 2 hours a day to double, triple, or quadruple my income? Sure. So it's what people are, it's what you're willing to trade off as the individual. So again, that is taking your time to know what you are, who you are, and what you're willing to do for what you want to get. And I think this kid was the same age as me, guy, 30, I think he's 31, 32, and it's just like, we have the most energy now than we will ever have. So if you're going to do anything that involves making money or pushing yourselves to do better, strive, then now is the time to do it, because in a few years you're not, who knows, you will have energy, but you have more energy now than you will in the future. And life is not promised. There's no future promise. So a lot of people will push stuff off to later. Oh, give me a year. Oh, maybe next year. It's like, we're not promised any of that. So write your goals down, know what you want, and try to get them as soon as possible. It's one of those things where it's like, people talk about investing in the stock market, and yeah, but if you invest this much every month, you will for certainly be rich by the time you're 65. And I believe that. I think that's a truth. I think if you do invest a certain amount, by the time you're a certain age, your money will be worth a certain amount, and you can retire on that, per se. But I don't know if the goal is to be rich when you're 65. Like, no, that's not. Let me rephrase that. The goal, it's less of a goal to be rich when you're 65. It's more of a, you should be rich when you're 65. You should do the stuff that you're supposed to be doing to get to that point where you have enough money at a certain age to take care of yourself, so that you don't have to depend upon your children to do it for you. But I think the goal would be to get there faster. So the way to do that is to, one, learn, educate yourself, knowledge. Want to cut out your limiting beliefs so that you believe that you can actually get there, and three, do the things that you need to do to get there, which are have the goal to be rich sooner or put money in a certain place faster, and then do it. And also, I think with those limiting beliefs, they stop you from even trying. So again, that goes back to education and understanding that, and seeing people that are doing it, being around people, or if you can't be around them physically, being around them through books, through YouTube, through podcasts. And I think that's one thing that this guy was lacking. The idea that you can get more for less. You don't have to trade your time for money, because Elon Musk isn't trading his time for money. And there are local business owners who are cocked up on a beach right now, and they've created system, leveraged people, leveraged technology, so that they don't have to go out and shovel the driveways. They don't have to go out and mow all the lawns. They hire people to do that, who are willing and ready to work and want to work, and then they make money on the back end. So, and then the last thing that he did bring up is, because I'm a social worker, he talked about, and I was bringing up sales, because I think that's a way that your effort can translate into income. The harder you work, it seems like the more you make, versus at some other jobs there are people who just show up and they're making the same amount as you. So he mentioned purpose and giving back, and I believe that. I believe the job that I do, the job that he does, he's a therapist, we are giving back, and it feels good to help people and give back. It feels good to help people and give back. But I do believe when you're young, you have to provide. And I think that provision involves you working and making money, and making good money so that you can provide for your future family. And we are both in the family rearing ages, and that's what we should kind of be optimizing for right now. And yes, giving back when you can, but when you dedicate your whole life to giving back, but at the end then you don't have anything, I don't like that concept. I would like to be able to make it do something and be able to provide early for myself and my family, and then give back. Philanthropy is, I think, something that you can't help others if you can't help yourself. So that was my whole thought and goal. But basically, main purpose of this, my thought is, it's very hard. You can't explain what you're doing to people if they don't understand and have a firm grasp of your goal, and it's not even worth trying. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a great, blessed day.